Alrighty, so in this video I'm working on a Kenmore oven, and the oven itself isn't working, but the stove top is. It's propane, so as well as the top and bottom. So the top obviously works, oven doesn't. So we went and got an igniter. I put the igniter in and it didn't work. So then I got looking into it. I tested the old igniter, no resistance, no ohms, like unlimited if you want to call it that. Then I read the resistance of the new one we just got, so it was 143 ohms. So the old igniter was bad, but the new igniter I plugged in still wasn't working, wasn't glowing. So I had to look further into it, and I tested the there's like a fuel shutoff on the bottom that the igniter, when the igniter gets hot, it draws enough amperage to turn the propane on. That read 1.5 ohms for that propane cutoff or switch, if you will. That read 1.5 ohms, so that's good. And so it led me to the circuit board, which is on top of the where you got to access it from behind the oven, and it's just the control board where the clock is. So I'll show you what I found. So on this Kenmore here, if you want to find the serial number, you open this drawer. If you're trying to order parts for it, and you come down here, there's model number and serial number. Now make sure you unplug your oven here before you start working on it. And this is the main wire here. This is your hot and neutral, and it comes all the way up. Well, they do split, so you have multiple power wires and then multiple neutrals going every which way. And the wires come up into here. There's where this the circuit board for the oven goes on this particular model. And a little sign here that it's burnt. I actually broke a little bit of it off, but I think it's okay. And so something got hot in there. Now I tested the wires. I tested black down to black here, and I read 0.01 ohms, and same with the neutral all the way down here, 0.1 ohms. And this yellow wire on this particular model just so happens to go down into the igniter, down through the switch at the bottom here that runs the propane into the oven, and that reads about 143 ohms on this model. And so I know there's continuity going through that, and to test that I ran this terminal here that has that yellow wire all the way down into the igniter, and it comes out neutral. So neutral's kind of like ground. That's the way I think about it. It really isn't a ground, but so anyhow, looking at the circuit board here, I've opened it up. The back here, you can see there's some burning on these two terminals here, which this one in the middle is the black power, and then this is to be the yellow wire. So that's power coming out to the igniter. So that's burnt. And I open it up, and I don't really know if this white crap is any good, which I'm sure it isn't, but this is the terminal for your yellow, and this one here to the left of it is black. But if you follow yellow and look over here, you can see that that is burnt out and the solder came undone. So there's something wrong with this unit here, this black box. So this whole unit is bad, really. But if it's already bad and you want to try to fix it, just resolder that. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. So I just finished up the soldering on it. It's a little hard to see. Maybe you can see it there. But I'm using my little blowtorch soldering gun here. That's all I got, and some thin rosin core solder, and I used just a tiny bit of flux at the end of this to get it going, and I cleaned this up very well with some Scotch-Brite and some rosin flux just to get the tip really clean so you get very good contact on that. If you don't have that tinned, you're not going to solder that very well. It's going to be very tough. So make sure this is tinned. So clean it with flux, some sandpaper, and then get it hot and put a little flux on the tip. It's very hard to zoom in here, but that's the only trick I've got on this. So I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll get a new one. And if it does work, great. So if it's already broke, it's worth a shot. Guess what? Oven's working. The igniter is, at least. Can you believe that? You can hear it now. Oh, the gas is on now. Alright, so got the oven working. Pretty cool. I didn't really think that would work, but if it's already broken, you can't really break it any farther, especially on a circuit board. That's actually a tip my teacher gave me in Poughkeepsie BOCES. So, but I'm going to make sure it runs through its pace, make sure it goes up to temperature, it turns off right. You know, I don't know exactly how the control board works, so you do want to make sure it doesn't just shut off and leave the propane running or something, you know. Which probably won't, because it does have a temperature sensor, an igniter, and the propane turn off. I forgot exactly what it's called on the where the fuel inlet pipe goes into the burner. There's a lot of videos on these, and that's where I got all the information before I tackled it. I think it was from a Sears channel of some sort. So the igniter, I guess I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody.